I started Raats Family Wines in 2000, and before that I worked in Bordeaux, I worked in Upper Valley with cake bread cellars. I run a little cellar in Tuscany, Villa Bonacera, where I worked under Vittorio Fiore, and I also worked in Germany. And after I had my run around with 1 or 2 cellars in South Africa as well, I started Raats Family Wines. What I've realized was that people that are successful in the wine industry is people that specialize. Those people that got anywhere, which is a lot of them sitting here today, is people that specialized in something. And what I wanted to specialize in is Chenin Blanc and Cabernet Franc. You might have tasted my Chenin Blanc in the previous seminar, and what you're here for is Cabernet Franc. Obviously, with Chenin Blanc, there's a good reason, and I'm sure they explained it to you in the previous seminar, but I thought that if you can take something that nobody else is doing, every man and his dog is making everything, but if you can take a variety like Chenin and make it well, you can get somewhere, because nobody else is trying. When it comes to a variety like Cabernet Franc, I think it's the best red wine variety in the world, and I probably, most people disagree with me on that. But I will tell you why I think so, is that if you can get Cabernet Franc right, and what makes Cabernet Franc so different to the other Bordeaux varieties, they all got fruit, black or red berry fruit, they all got herbaceousness. What Cabernet Franc has got is that wonderful spiciness, and that's what the other Bordeaux varieties don't have. And when we taste spiciness, it's not like Shiraz, where you get that white pepper and black pepper. Spiciness in Cabernet Franc is that cinnamon, clove, coriander, nutmeg, almost 5-spice in a way, and so it has a third dimension on the nose. When you look at Cabernet Franc on the palate, and if you know it or not know it, but Cabernet Franc is the parent variety for Cabernet Sauvignon. It's about 600 or 700 years older than that. So Cabernet Franc with Shiraz is one of the oldest cultivated varieties that was made as a single variety. If you look at Cabernet Franc on the palate, it's got a lot of structures, sometimes very similar to Cabernet, and what makes it so unique is right at the end, you find it's very silky, soft, velvety tannins, great freshness and acidity, and it's very specific in the exactness that it can produce in terms of fruit. Now, unfortunate, and that's why very few people in any country specialize in Cabernet Franc. Currently, I'm the only Cabernet Franc specialist that only make Cabernet Franc, and my colleagues tell me my position is quite safe for the next 100 years. But what makes Cabernet Franc is that pureness and the exactness. What I've done is I've looked at Cabernet Franc in terms of who have done well with it. And if you look, why does the left bank compared to the right bank? Why does the right bank do so much better with Cabernet Franc than the left bank? Because they got chalk in this well, and it's very well drained. Now, if you take that, so if you take chalk, dolomite, calcare, anything that have sort of white chalkiness in it, with well-drained soil, medium potential, Owl Mountain, Mount Vida, Chalk Hill, Hungary, right bank Bordeaux, and in South Africa, decomposed dolomite granite. I might point out that Emil Den Dilk from the Turin is my neighbor. He's about 500 meters up the road, and we basically situated on a little decomposed granite hill. And that's where I grow my Cabernet Franc. Most people, unfortunately, planted Cabernet Franc in South Africa. They perceived it to be a Bordeaux variety. They're wrong. Bordeaux, Cabernet Franc doesn't come from Bordeaux, it comes from the Loire. So I went to where the source is, and that's what I looked for, and that's why I found it in South Africa. Decomposed dolomite granite, which all my Cabernet Franc comes from 2 vineyards, and both of them on decomposed dolomite granite. And obviously, as you might have seen with the Chenin as well, the moment you have that dolomite chalk in the soil, you get great acidity, great freshness, fantastic lower pH, high acidity, and you get this beautiful purity in the wine. So please go ahead and taste the wine 11.